So what we're doing today is we're going to spend a little time doing, focusing on self-affirmations, right? So affirmations of self-love. And then we're going to spend a little time doing some mindful drawing. And so before we get started, I just want to say just a little bit about mindfulness. I know if you've been with us before, we've talked a little bit about mindfulness. That's something that we try to carry through a lot of our programming. But mindfulness is a word that most often gets associated with meditation. And it should. It goes hand in hand. But mindfulness is something that we can practice anywhere. We can practice mindfulness in the grocery store. We can practice mindfulness while we're washing the dishes. Art making is just a wonderful way to practice mindfulness because it's all about being in the moment, being present, being in the here and now, not thinking about the what ifs of the past or the to-do lists of the future, but it's being right here now in this moment. And doing this kind of art journaling specifically on mindful drawing that we're going to be doing today, it's a very embodied practice. And it's because all of our focus is on what's right in front of us, right? We're engaging different parts of our body, we're engaging different senses, but we're focused on what's right in front of us. And so I want to encourage us today, as we do this, look for our affirmations, and when we practice our mindful drawing, I want to encourage us to really just kind of let ourselves enjoy the process. Remind ourselves that we don't have to, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be symmetrical. The lines don't have to be super straight. But it's all about that making process today. Well, let's start off by going ahead and getting a clean sheet, either a clean sheet of paper or a clean page in our journal. And go ahead and pick out your writing utensil for today. It can be a pen, a colored pencil, a marker, whatever utensil that you're wanting to use today. Go ahead and pull that out. I'm going to be using a colored pencil that has a lot of colors in it. So that's going to be my tool for today. But go ahead and pick out your writing utensil. And let's start off by doing just a little box in the center of our page. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay if it's a little wonky. Wonky is good. Go ahead and put that box or that circle in the center of our page. We're going to kind of go through just a little self-affirmation meditation to kind of get us started. Affirmations are something that I have been trying to get better with for myself in my own life. But an affirmation is really just a word or a phrase that we can repeat to ourselves to really help us stay in the positive, stay in the moment. I know sometimes it's easier to focus on the negatives or the issues that come up, but it's good to have those little words or phrases to kind of encourage us and kind of keep us kind of change our mindset, change our focus a little bit, and keep us in the positive, right? To really help us through the day. These are sayings that we can kind of hang on to and be encouraged by. And so in just a moment, I'm going to go through some different affirmations, and I want to encourage you to repeat them to yourself. You don't have to say them out loud, but each affirmation, I want to encourage you to say it to yourself. And as we're going through, pay attention to the ones that stand out to you. If there's one that stands out to you, go ahead and write that down in your box. Maybe there's an affirmation that we don't say, but one that you want to put in your box, and that's good too. I want to encourage you to really be intentional about the affirmation that you choose. Okay? So let's go ahead and kind of relax in our chair. Just kind of get comfortable. Maybe take a deep breath and let it out. Just kind of settle yourself into that comfortable space. Just kind of ease yourself into an easy, relaxed rhythm of breathing. Don't worry about changing your breath. Just kind of let that air flow in and out. Just notice that natural rhythm. If you want want, you can close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or just lower your gaze in the distance. And as you're sitting there breathing, just let your thoughts kind of dissolve into the air. Focus your awareness on that breath. Let it bring you right here to this moment, so you can be fully present. And soak in these affirmations that I'm going to share. As I said, as I say each of these affirmations, I just want you to kind of repeat it in your mind. You don't have to say it out loud. I am enough. I am worthy. I am joyful. I am connected. I am in tune with my inner wisdom. I am loved. I create and honor my boundaries. I am confident in my own skin. I take the time to fill myself up. I am worthy of love. I am beautiful inside and out. Everything I need is within me. I am strong and resilient. I can handle life's hardships. I forgive myself. I make a difference in the world. I let go of what no longer serves me. I constantly evolve with grace and love. I am light. I am worthy of every dream I have. I am confident. I radiate love. I am grateful. I am creative. I am extraordinary. I am love. I am peace. Today, I choose happiness. So just take a moment and reflect on those affirmations you just heard. Is there one that stands out to you? One you connect with? One you need to hear? Maybe there's an affirmation that you need that we didn't say today. Just take a moment and find that affirmation that you need for today. Do you have it? Go ahead and write that in your center square or circle. Doesn't have to be super neat, clean. We're going to continue our mindful practice today by doing a little drawing around that. If you find yourself getting distracted or your mind wandering just a little bit, know that that's okay. Our brain is just doing what it's meant to do. But when that happens, just be gentle with yourself and guide your thoughts back to this affirmation that you've chosen today and to the drawing that you're doing with your pen or pencil. So let's go ahead and let's fill our space up with different shapes. It can be a whole bunch of squares. It can be stars or circles. Just going to add some geometric shapes, filling the rest of our space up. You can use the same pen or pencil. If you want to bring a variety of color in, you can do that. Know that whatever supply you use is good and exactly what you need. It can be real shapes or completely made up shapes. And just take the time to kind of fill up those spaces. We're in no rush today. We may not finish in our time together, and that's okay. Just take the time to fill up those spaces. Building it around your affirmation. I want to encourage you to take your time with it. I know that sometimes it's hard for me to slow down a little bit. When I get going, I start going really fast. I encourage you to take your time with it today. And be large shapes. Small ones. Again, they can be overlapping, right next to each other. Take your time to fill up that space. One of the things that I love about mindful drawing is that we don't have to do anything that's representational. It's all about mark making, right? Adding those marks, those lines, those shapes, those colors, just kind of putting them in those spaces. And so if you've gotten to a place where your page is filled up with shapes, and again, know that it's okay if you're not there yet. If you're still putting the shapes on your page, keep doing that. But if you've gotten to that place, where those shapes are filling the page. You're ready for the next step. Go ahead and start filling in those spaces with marks. You can do patterns, you can do circles inside of a circle, inside of a circle. You can even draw flowers and stars inside. But take the time to just kind of add shapes, add marks to each of those shapes. You can follow along with me if you like, do what I'm doing, or strike out on your own and add your own marks to the spaces. Well, let's take a moment and just spend some time filling in those different shapes. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be straight lines. Just kind of fill those spaces in. Color them in. You can add different types of colors. You can do the same mark making in every single one of those squares if you want, shapes. Just take your time with it today. You feel yourself getting a little distracted, or your mind wandering just a little bit. Again, know that that's okay. Your brain is just doing what it's meant to do, to think and to process. And just be gentle with yourself. Guide your thoughts back to the marks that you're making. Guide your thoughts back to that affirmation that you chose today. I know that sometimes coming up with an affirmation for ourselves can feel hard. We may not feel right now like the affirmation that we chose. Maybe that's an affirmation we want to claim for ourselves. Whatever affirmation you chose, just let yourself kind of think on that. Or maybe it's easier to just focus on those marks that you're making in those shapes. And that's okay too. It may be hard to think about the next mark that you want to make, next line or color you want to use. No, that's okay too. It's okay to draw that same mark over and over again. It's also okay to follow along with me if you need another shape or another step. Whenever feels comfortable. Just take your time with that drawing today. Give yourself permission to take time. And do all sorts of lines, or just repeat the same line. You can add all sorts of colors and just use one same color. And if you are like me and you tend to speed up a little bit, know that that's okay. It's completely okay to put your pen or pencil down for just a second. Take a breath. And then pick your pen up again and continue to draw. Don't worry about making it look a certain way. Our focus today really is just that process of making, that process of drawing. And however that looks is good and right and okay. Know that you don't have to finish this together while we're together today. This can be something you work on for a few days or a few hours. And also just be something we work on while we're together. And it doesn't have to be finished. So give yourself permission to enjoy that process today. And let those shapes, lines, colors, let those marks happen. Sometimes it's hard to get that idea of perfection out of our minds. We're raised, taught to know that there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. But there's so much pressure that comes with that. And so I want to encourage you to kind of try to set that out of your mind. I know that's hard. It's easier said than done. Try to set that idea of perfection out of your mind. There is beauty in that imperfection. Maybe it's not that finished piece, that beautiful finished piece that we want or we see in our head. Maybe it's just beauty in the process of making it. Just let yourself focus on that mark making today. And again, if you find yourself getting a little distracted, no, that's okay. And that's natural. And just give yourself permission. Be gentle with yourself and just refocus your awareness back on what's right in front of you. It's okay if the line is crooked. It's okay to color outside those lines. No, this doesn't have to look any certain way. Whatever you make, whatever you draw, whatever color you choose is good. And just focus your awareness on those marks. On the colors, the lines. Filling up those different shapes. Using whatever supply you have in front of you. It's okay if it's a little wonky, the lines aren't straight, because that's not what this is about today. It really is about just being present and being immersed in what's right in front of us. Maybe it's a little hard to focus or hard to think of what mark to make next, what line to draw. Don't let that pressure keep you in one spot. You can make those same lines over and over again. Repeat that same shape over and over again. There's no right or wrong way to do this today. And just taking our time with that mark making, filling in those spaces. Letting that drawing kind of surface as we build these marks up. I know that our time is coming to a close today. And I want to say, know that you don't have to be finished with your drawing now. I'm not finished with mine. You want to start coming to that stopping place now, wherever that is. Maybe it's finishing the last shape, finishing that last little bit of color, that last round of marks. Start coming to that stopping place. When you're ready, go ahead and put down your pen or pencil or marker. Whatever supply that you're using, go ahead and lay that down once you've reached that stopping place.